Gerrit Cole is the American League Cy Young favorite right now, and he's been absolutely stellar this season, and there's a lot of reasons why that has been and why he's gotten significantly better as a pitcher. But before we get into all that stuff, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. We really appreciate your guys' support. And with that being said, let's get started talking about Gerrit Cole, who got off to a really good start on the season. If you look at his numbers through the first 7 starts, he had a sub-2 ERA. He was phenomenal. And then really that Tampa start where he blows that massive lead. The Yankees aren't able to win that series. They have to settle for a split instead. He allowed his first 2 home runs in that start. And then over a 5-start stretch, including that start, he had allowed 8 home runs and 17 earned runs. And his strikeouts were down. His walks were up. It looked like something was going wrong with Cole. Maybe he didn't have his slider, whatever it may be. The over-reliance on a 4-seam fastball really started to rear its ugly head because he didn't have anything to play off of it. And then he started making some tweaks. Now, against the Dodgers, the Red Sox, and the Mets, he put together 3 really good starts. And then he really included that cutter right back into the fold permanently. And from June 20th forward, he's been a different pitcher. He's been phenomenal. He's not walking batters at a high rate. He's only walked 4.5% of batters. He's striking out nearly 30% of batters, and they're not generating hard contact against him with a 2.44 ERA in that time span. And the reason that this cutter is so important is because he's changed the shape on it compared to last year. Now, if people remember, Gerrit Cole did add a cutter last season and then quickly ditched it after it got shelled against the Minnesota Twins. Now, in terms of stuff plus, this cutter was not a very good pitch. He had an 86 stuff plus on the pitch, and it got hammered. Now, the shape of this pitch wasn't great either, and that reflects in the stuff plus. But when we get into specifics here and what he tweaked, when you look at that 2022 cutter, it sits at 92 miles per hour with 0.5 inches of glove side movement and 7.9 inches of vertical movement, or induced vertical break is what we like to call it. Now, as for what he changed this year, now his cutter sits at 93.2 miles per hour. So there is a velocity tick, and typically that means less horizontal movement and more ride. But it's actually been the opposite. He does have more vertical movement. He has 11 inches of induced vertical break this season. But in terms of glove side movement, he's actually increased the cut on this pitch with 2.7 inches of glove side movement. So it's getting more movement away to batters. It has more lift, so it can play up and down in the strike zone. And overall, the stuff plus on this pitch has gone up to 112. It is a plus cutter now, and it's one of the best pitches in his arsenal. On the season thus far, he has a 268 WOBA allowed against, a 238 average, and he has a 33.3% whiff rate. So overall, this pitch has done a really good job of limiting hard contact and really excelling in the sense that it allows him to go out and be aggressive to lefties and righties with a secondary pitch that isn't just his 4-seam fastball. Now, in terms of overall stuff plus on the season, he has a 122 compared to a 130 last year, and yet he still excelled in terms of going out and getting swings and misses and limiting walks. Now, that cutter allows him to be a much better contact inducer. His xWOBA is actually the lowest of his career as a Yankee at 375, and in terms of hard hit rate, it's the lowest it's been since 2021 when he was the runner-up for a Cy Young award. And overall, I think he's a really, really, really well-polished pitcher now. He has the ability to limit contact. He has the ability to still get swings and misses. He has the ability to limit walks. Everything is still there for him to be a successful pitcher that he carried from years past, but he's just added on a cutter and added on the ability to limit hard contact a little bit more effectively. Now, a couple of tweaks I'd still like to see him make. Number one, the slider location. If that pitch can get a little bit better, he can get more swings and misses and put away batters a little bit more effectively, which is something he struggled with. In terms of put away rate from last year to this year, his 4-seam fastball is right where it should be at 24.2% compared to 24.8%, but the slider's at 17%, down from 24.8%. The curveball's at 16.7%, down from 24%. And overall, I don't think that his arsenal has changed enough for him to have that big of a put-away difference, but perhaps the inclusion of a cutter is what he needs. That strikeout rate has gone up precipitously since then. It's at 35.8% really in his last 4 starts, and that's where he's bumped up the cutter usage to 12.8%. And maybe that's the change he's needed to make. Maybe that's the pitch, that's the angle, that's the look that batters are looking for that they can't really spot in Gerrit Cole's arsenal. And if he can continue to get better, if he can continue to tweak those things, I think he'll be an excellent pitcher for the rest of the season and run away with the Cy Young, especially considering not only does he have the lowest ERA in the American League, but he's been an absolute workhorse with the most innings pitched in all of the American League as well. Now, really, since signing his contract, he's been one of the most durable stars in the league for the Yankees. He's given the Yankees plenty of innings. He's given them plenty of great performances. But this year is his chance to add some hardware. It may not be a World Series. It may not be a division title. But what it could be is his first Cy Young Award. Now, I know his first priority is to get the Yankees to the playoffs, but I really want to see him finally get that first Cy Young and really start to round out his Hall of Fame case as he enters the middle to late stages of his career and overall put together what should be a very good Hall of Fame case. But with that being said, let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys like these style of videos? If you do, let us know. You guys can tweet at us. Check us out on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and of course this YouTube page, all Fireside Yankees. And of course, you guys can check out at Ryan Garcia ESM on Twitter. That's my Twitter account. Check out Empire Sports Media for some fire articles, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Stay hot, Yankee fans. Peace out.